What's up guys, it's Men's TV bringing you back 900 thoughts from the dome to your phone. If this video has landed on the channel, it's because I believe that is of some use to you in some way, shape or form. Honestly, I was rethinking even making this video just because of how interesting I thought it would be, how engaging I thought it would be, until I realized that that was nothing short of a distraction within my own head. A distraction that would withhold me from having any creative momentum. See, one thing that I think is beautiful is that we can give ourselves the reason to go and pursue something and the reason not to. A lot of the times, the reasons that we give ourselves not to pursue something seem reasonable within the moment, but are nothing short of a distraction. The way that you believe you are going to be perceived by your peers, your family, how attractive you believe you are spiritually and physically, whether you are going to fail or succeed at the thing that you are trying to pursue. Now, I'm not going to lie here and say I've never thought about these things before. Of course, I think about these things from time to time, but how much are you going to think about it to the point where you let it keep you still and frozen? Notice that you have the power to find out all the answers that you have in your head by actually trying, attempting, not being scared of failure, not being scared of being perceived in the wrong way, leaving all the crumbs on the table to the point where when you look back you have no regrets. You don't believe that you can do it any different because you did it to the best of your ability. 2026 is not a year about distractions. Your life shouldn't even be a year about distractions. It should be a year of you attempting, living a life full of just fearlessness, living a life where you can look back and be like, yes, I did that. This YouTube channel, I may have not grown it to the most utmost within this whole year, but I've actually tried, and I can't say that I can go back and really put more effort into what I did because I've learned so much. I was literally a rookie at this shit last year. I still kind of am, but I've learned so much, and I would have never learned so much about the channel, about myself, if I didn't at least try, if I didn't, put myself out there, if I didn't attempt this shit fearlessly. If I was, caring about what other people for me, I may have backed out. I may have been a little bit more shy, a little bit more reserved, but I killed those thoughts and I kept going. I want to thank the 1900 family for being here for me within this, journey I call it, but this channel really means something to me. It's like a journal for me with all the topics that I have in my head, all the things that I really care about, sharing it and finding people that care about it in a similar way to me, finding people that appreciate things that I appreciate, and we're building a collective community. It really means a lot to me, and I would have never thought I would have really pasted even as much content as I did last year. I really surprised myself. The main thing is just that, me finding out more about myself. This experience, this whole YouTube experience, I found out who I am more so. Some people go their whole lives trying to figure out who they are through meaningless things like materialism, consumerism, and so on and so forth, and to each their own. But I really found that through fulfillment, through teaching, through inspiring, through helping others and being empathetic to others within the things I say, knowing how much impact I have within other people, knowing that I can trust other people with my ideas. And I did that all through YouTube. You know what I mean? And it's just a big thank you, and not just a big thank you, but I want this to really touch someone who wants to go and do something. Don't look at the monetary gains, such as the numbers, the sales that you get, but look at the person that you will become through that. Take every opportunity as an opportunity for you to better yourself, for you to, get more confident within yourself, to kill anxieties, to, impact people, not just yourself. Look for reasons outside of yourself. I think inspiration is very, very powerful, but how can you inspire if you're not trying, if you're not leading by example? I have inspired throughout this year, and I plan to keep inspiring to the utmost of my ability. It is with that I'll also say I will continue expecting more from myself than anyone could ever expect from myself. That is how I'll keep pushing, and that's how I'll keep trying. That's how I want my legacy to be written. Not a person that didn't mean the things that they say, and not a person that led people astray, but a person that led by example, a leader, someone who was confident, someone who cares, someone who was thorough. That's the person I want to be remembered as. And I hope that I'm doing a darn good job at that so far. The real question is, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want your legacy to be remembered? And what do you want to actually try and do? This self-actualization is difficult nowadays since we live in an era of consumption rather than, isolation. Isolation is actually looked down upon within this generation, and I don't really see why. I mean, my greatest development as a person was through that isolated period of my life of just not being around people, not being around similar people, not being around, media that influenced me, just being around myself, finding out what I actually like, what actually made me grow as a person within myself, what poured into me rather than took out of me. Sure, a lot of the things that I created in the creative space in this life does come from influence and inspiration and copying and pasting, but copying and pasting with style, adding your own flair to it. What makes you unique? And for me, I'll give you the straight up answer: your life. Look at your life. And that means spending time in your life, not spending time through the screen. When you spend time through the screen, you're entering a whole new dimension. That isn't your life. When you spend time in real life, it is your dimension. It is your dimension as long as you cut out all the bullshit, all the distractions, and you actually live, bro. You actually, are within the present moment and take advantage of that. Take advantage of all the experiences that you face in your life. Take advantage of all the knowledge that you've gained, all the knowledge that you reaped, all the people that you met, all the game that you got from them, and put it into this creative source. For me, that's exactly what I do. The reason I speak on the topics that I speak on, the reason that I chose YouTube as a platform is because I know myself. I know that I don't like live streaming. I don't have any interest in that. And that's just because I know me as a person, my strengths and weaknesses, and how I conceal an idea and tell it to people. It comes from thought for me. It doesn't come from performance or, a live stream. And that comes from me having that isolation within myself. So I'd say, before you even think about pursuing anything that you do, whether it be a business venture, creative, spend time with yourself to find out who you are as a person, your values, how you want to tell your vision, how you want your story to be portrayed. It's all good having faith. It's all good me telling you to cut the distractions out, be the best version of yourself, but that doesn't mean anything without a plan. And a plan doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from you. But how can it come from you if you don't know you? You know what I mean? I know that I've already spoken about this, but, I don't think it gets spoken about enough, like the actual blessing of being creative. The actual blessing of being creative, even with the numbers being low, even with the reception being low, with you not making money. For me, the benefits I've already spoken about, it's really like a journal for me, just for myself. Like, the person that I'm right now wasn't the person that I was last year. And I have evidence of that. I have video proof of that through the way that I speak, the way that I embody myself, the thoughts in my head. You can just tell I've developed, and that's very interesting for me, at least. Secondly, just never gets boring. Like, this challenges me every time. Every time I pick up my camera and upload, it challenges me every single time. And I can imagine that throughout so many things, through music making, clothing brands, through anything of the sort. It's just always is like a puzzle that I've got to solve, and it's always just so fulfilling when I do. The dopamine rush that I get, rather than me, smoking or drinking or anything of the sort, my dopamine rush is from this, bro. And I'd say that is also another reason why you should do this with your full heart. Yeah, really avoided a lot of depression, anxiety, and stress through this outlet, and that's why I owe a lot to it. It's not even like so much about me, but it itself, and it being here after I'm gone, and things of that nature. This is going to be here after I'm gone. The impact that I leave is going to be here after I'm gone. The impact it's had on me, I will tell it to other people too. This YouTube content creation, it's been a beautiful thing so far, and I'm saying this, but there's so much more bullshit to do. There's so much more, but I'm just so thankful. And I think anyone who's really thinking about doing anything in this nature, just go do it. All the excuses that are in your head are just excuses until you let it not be excuses. Kill them. Show your excuses that they're wrong. Prove them wrong. Confidence will just follow after that. Don't worry about being polished. Don't worry about being unique. Don't worry about being the best creative out there at the start, because trust me, you won't be. And I'm not a year down the line. I've still got a lot to learn, and I'm willing to learn, and I'm willing to grow. And that's the best thing. It's Men's TV, bringing you about 900 thoughts from the dome to your phone. I hope whoever needed to hear this, it reached you, and I hope you felt my energy and spirit. Love and blessings, man, to every single one of you. To my future self, I love you too. It's Men's TV, bringing you about 900 thoughts. I'm out.